Hello, everyone. I'm Luke. I'm the founder of Cornucopia FutureScapes, and I'm so happy today to have with me Arik Kaufman. He's the CEO of Steakholder Foods, and Mihir Pershad, the founder and CEO of Umami Meats. So, as you may know, just recently there was an exciting new advance where Stakeholder and Umami have collaborated on cultured garupa meat. And so I think let's really jump in to see and learn more from them on what this is, where's this collaboration going. May I hand over to Mihir first to share what was your own path into this collaboration? Tell us more.
Sure. So Umami Meats first started in early 2020, just before the COVID pandemic really kicked off. And our goal as a company is to sort of enable the transition to adoption of cultivated seafood broadly by developing core production technology that can then be licensed for manufacturing by partners around the world. And so we started working with a handful of cell line development projects for endangered species of fish that are not commercially suited to farming. That includes grouper, includes eel, several species of tuna, and now looking beyond that, we've got a pipeline of about 10 fish species that fit these criteria. And we are now working toward initial scale up so that we can bring the first products to market with some commercial partners that are big traditional food companies. And along the way, our team joined a Singapore government delegation to Israel in 2022. And through that, we were introduced to the Stakeholder Foods team. And I think the teams saw eye to eye on how we could use our technologies together to enable a much higher quality, higher standard of cultivated product onto the market. And beginning of this year, we were awarded a CERD grant, which is the Singapore Israel Industrial Research Foundation. It was roughly 1.5 million USD over 2 years, split between the companies to create something that's commercially ready and to then jointly bring it to market.
And I think each of you have your own deep tech advances and hence this deep collaboration. Can you talk a bit more about what capabilities and product you brought to the table?
Sure. So we really focus mostly on core inputs. So this would be stem cells and the growth media that feeds them, as well as process development to create a production system that can be used to make many different kinds of cultivated fish. So we have some novel technology in stem cell biology, working with a stem cell type called MSC or mesenchymal stem cell. We developed the first of these in the world from fish, which means we can make muscle and fat from a single stem cell, which enables much cheaper cost for manufacturing of cultivated fish. We also then bring some know-how around how to manufacture at larger volume using smaller amounts of steel investment. So basically making a higher value plant for the same investment.
Great. And one thing to note is Umami is headquartered in Singapore, where I am as well. As a proud Singaporean, I'm very excited about our 30 by 30 mission to produce more of our nutritional needs within the country by the end of this decade. No pressure there. And I've also been a big admirer of Israel, I think known as a deep tech powerhouse, full of very creative minds, a science genius. And so that's over to you, Arik. Tell us more about the Stakeholder Food story and how you guys met and what you bring to the table in this.
Yes, so thank you for having me. Stakeholder Foods is currently the only publicly traded company which develops cultivated meat solutions. We are traded in the NASDAQ. It's the second largest stock exchange in the world. Our ticker is STKH. And Stakeholder Foods began its journey 4 years ago, more than 4 years ago, with an aim to develop advanced 3D printers, which will be a platform for different species that it will be able to print, and different companies which will be able to engage with us. We've showcased our capabilities with the collaboration with Umami. It was the first collaboration where we had a third party that supplied us, as Mihir stated, with their core technology, with their cell lines. And we've mixed these cells and injected them into our unique bioinks. and then 3D printed them in a structure that our software predetermined how it will look when after it's printed. So it was a huge achievement for us as well, and we're very excited to work with a Singaporean company in general, and specifically with Umami Meats.
I see. That's great. And you know, I heard that you had a major milestone recently in Israel. Do tell us more about that.
So it was like I think it was a huge milestone for the industry. So it's the first time that a 3D printed fish was printed. It was a hybrid product. It was the first time that the Prime Minister, like anywhere in the world, has tasted such a product. Our Prime Minister also tasted this fish. And on a personal level, I have to say that I was really excited because I think that the level that we've reached with this product was a very high level, and that's also compared to previous products that we've already 3D printed. It was a really exciting milestone for us.
That's great. Did he like it? What did he say?
Yes, he loved it, and it's not because that's something that I think. It was videotaped, so it's not like only my thought. Yes, he loved it. He loved it, and he not only he. We had the leading CEOs of the leading food companies in Israel attend this meeting as well. We had and then there were additional people who've tasted these products, and it was like an amazing event for us.
Oh, that's excellent. So, gentlemen, tell me what's next, you know, for your collaboration for this product. When is it going to market? Where where are we going?
So I think, the next step is, I think there's still a little bit of work to do to get the product kind of fully optimized and fine-tuned for the market. So that product development is ongoing. And our goal is to have a regulatory dossier prepared for Singapore first, and then we'll look at other markets in quick succession after that. But we're also working beyond this whitefish grouper on an eel unagi project that we will have a showcase of as well in a similar sort of way. So the goal is really to continue deepening this collaboration and to now look at how we make it commercial, right? And how we can then bring in the right food partners to bring this food to hundreds and then millions of consumers, as opposed to, small tastings. So.
No, that's indeed, and I think this technological field, usually we talk about from farm to fork. So this is from not farm, but to bring it to fork, there's still more work to be done, I guess. Yes. And
yes,
all the
hell to
best.
fork.
Yes. And
Yes,
Arik, how about from the Israel angle and global?
Yes, so it's like I never thought about like a concept of from printer to fork, but I think that we're there. I think that like on a stakeholder foods level, we are aiming to broaden our collaboration base. We are aiming to see some kind of collaboration or commercialization of our printers with like an industrial scale company, or alternatively with one of the like major cultivated meat food tech companies. So that's like our main goal, to see that we are able to engage with different companies on different levels and continue and perfect and diversify our portfolio of printers.
I see. Well, and I think that, I can't help but ask the question. There's a lot of commentary, some more informed, some less informed, about really what's the direction, what's the ceiling? Is there a ceiling, for cultured meat? And also looking at it in the context of some other deep tech that I guess is kind of similar, that's developing. So where do you see the future for this category?
So
yeah,
I think that that's like, and am I talking only on a personal level? Because no one can really forecast what will happen and when. But on a personal level, I believe that there's no turning back. Like the cultivated meat industry is an industry that will stay and that will grow, because we don't have any other solution. And I think that that one should not expect that first products that will enter the market will change the world and people will automatically shift from traditional meat to cultivated meat. That won't be the case. It will be a process. But I'm not sure that it will be such a long process, because if we are today already at the position that we have a prime minister that tastes fish that I have to say tasted amazing and it looked amazing, the texture was amazing, it means that we can produce these products already today. It's only a question of cost and scale. And I think that if we will look 10 years from now, that's 2033, for sure we will see, and that again, that's my personal opinion, a market that will be a double-digit, multi-billion-dollar market that will continue and grow, and that will continue and provide the market with more advanced products. I think that once this industry will reach the point that it will know how to produce products that are exactly the same as the traditional meat that we are producing, and I don't think that we are so far away, then it's a no-brainer. It's like it's an industry that knows how to produce clean meat, sustainable meat, and we will see this industry grow year by year. That's my opinion.
Great, Arik. And I hear different perspectives from different people. Of course, I think one use case is to say you really can't taste the difference, from the original, the real product. Some others are saying, just take this technology out in a very novel taste, a new experience. So I guess there's different paths to market. And Mihir, how about yourself? What's your picture of success for Umami and for partnering for the future?
Yeah, I mean, I think I echo Arik's sentiments on this, right? I think the industry trajectory is a little bit unknown, and how long it will take to hit certain volumes is hard to predict. But I would say if you look at the curve on reduction in cost of cultivated meat in the last 10 years, since that first tasting in 2013 of a burger, it has fallen faster than the cost of sequencing a genome. It's fallen faster than Moore's Law, much faster than Moore's Law. So if those are the benchmarks for technologies that you can't even imagine how many chips you have on you today in all of the electronics that we wear and that we use, that was probably unfathomable at the invention of the microchip. I think if you think, and that's barely 50 years that we're talking, that kind of change has happened. And I think humans have a tendency to overestimate what you can do in 5 years and dramatically underestimate what will happen in their lifetime. And I think that's really where we're playing with Cultivated. There will be change that will take time. Infrastructure has to get built. But once we can prove that we can make food without the sacrifices our current system requires us to accept, then I think this is going to be technology that becomes as ubiquitous as computers, because it offers that big of a step change over the existing system. And it gives us flexibility. As coastlines change, as climate change gets worse, we have ability to produce food more securely, more sustainably, without being married to having to produce in a certain part of the world, because that's where this plant or animal can grow. And that kind of versatility is going to be beneficial for us trying to deal with the challenges of climate change in the coming decades.
Yes, and I think that control and versatility, I think, is very key, and one advantage of many of the emerging technologies, and also climate smart agriculture in general. But my reflection as we wrap up is that's really supply side. And I think that, of course, it's in everyone's interest to also cultivate, no pun intended, the demand. And I think that's obviously a big challenge for corporates, but even from a policy standpoint, I came from a policy background. How do we give regulatory assurance and then also, get people on board? And I think that education, especially of younger generations, and early exposure would probably be one path to that. So can I just invite you guys for any final thoughts? And in particular, okay, Arik, I'd like to hear also the path to market for cultured meat in your country. And Mihir, I want to hear, when am I going to taste this product in Singapore?
Sure.
Arik.
Yes. So I when the Prime Minister has visited us, like I've stated that I've wished that we would advance in the pace that Singapore did. So I cannot state when we will taste in Israel cultivated meat products like in the supermarkets, but we are able to taste them here in our facility. And if I need to summarize again, thank you for having me. Because we are due to the fact that we are a public company, it means a lot. The exposure means a lot to us, because without the exposure, less people are familiar with our stock
Sure.
and proposition. So thank you very much for having me. Thank you,
Most
Mihir.
welcome.
Sure. Thanks for joining us, Arik. I think, and thanks for having us, Luke. For us, our goal is there'll be more tastings this year in Singapore, and next year we'll start the commercial ramp up on the food side with the goal of having, if all goes well on the regulatory side, we could have the first commercial sale before the end of 2024. Otherwise, it's likely early 2025 that we'll see that first sale. There is a little bit of that regulatory flexibility that we have to have while we're working through our first approval process. And we're already looking at doing product demonstrations and regulatory preparation for key markets like the US and Japan as well. So we're not focused just on Singapore, but from Singapore to the world.
Great. So, gentlemen, Arik Kaufman, CEO of Steakholder Foods, and Mihir Pershad, founder and CEO of Umami Meats. May I wish you all the very best and congratulations as you embark on the next chapter of scale up and bringing this closer and finally to market. So this is Luke Tay from Cornucopia FutureScapes signing off as well. Hopefully the first of many conversations we'll have on the future of food and how to get there. Take care, guys.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.